So I was talking to my girlfriend when suddenly a branch fell on my head, and because I was in a particularly suey mood, I asked, who could I sue? She said, no one. It was an act of God. But can I sue God? Okay, for the purpose of this question, let's assume we are in the United States of litigation. Right away, the idea seems pretty crazy, but there have actually been a few attempts throughout history with varying results. But if we want to get to the suing, any lawsuit, including one against God, will first have to pass through 8 gates before it can even touch a judge. For this challenge, because my wallet and I have trust issues, we will apply for a fee waiver for the court filing fees, and we'll represent ourselves in court like my older cousin Vinny. Although, something tells me we might not make it that far. The first gate is standing, or the who. This gate is simple. We will basically just have to prove that we were the ones who were wronged. And since I now have a memory-shaped bruise growing out the side of my head, this should not be a problem. The second gate is the statute of limitations, or the timer. Passing this gate depends on when God assaulted us. In most states, the statute of limitations is 2 to 3 years from the date of the incident. So, unless we've been dilly-dallying around for 2 to 3 years, we got the second gate in the bag. The third gate is damages. This one means we'll have to prove that I suffered a loss that the court can actually fix. And this also should not be a problem, because if I wasn't struck down by that almighty branch of injustice, I would surely have had a job by now. The fourth gate is cause of action, or the why. In order to pass this gate, we will have to prove why Big G decided to smite me down. Now, he's being suspiciously silent on the matter, so it might be hard to show intent, but we might be able to nail him for negligence. It's not the first time he's goofed. Okay, so far so good. Only 4 more gates and we'll be serving God a lawsuit hamburger. The fifth gate is causation, or proof that he did it. Unfortunately for God, there already exists a legal doctrine called Act of God. This doctrine is commonly invoked by insurance companies to describe events arising exclusively from natural causes, such as floods or hurricanes. Basically, things that are unforeseeable and beyond human control. So, since there were no other humans present at my holy flogging, we should be able to chalk this one up to an act of God and slide right on through the fifth gate. The sixth gate is jurisdiction, or the where. This basically means we have to pick a court that has authority over our specific problem and location. Now, this one's a little sticky, because technically, God has no fixed address, no nationality, and no registered jurisdiction. But what if there was a loophole we might be able to squeeze through? Well, in 2007, a Nebraskan state senator attempted to sue God and stated, being omnipresent, God is personally present in all regions. In other words, God is everywhere, so every court has jurisdiction. Wicked. Let's go with that too. So far, we have 6 out of 8 gates. But unfortunately, this is where the cookie really starts to crumble. For the 7th gate, we require a real defendant or a legal entity. You have to identify a specific person, business, or government agency that is legally responsible. Lucky for us, our same Nebraskan senator was able to nearly snake his way around this gate too. He argued that the court had already acknowledged God's existence by swearing oaths on the Bible and printing, "In God we trust," on the money. So, if the government recognizes God in all those contexts, they can't suddenly claim he doesn't exist as a legal entity just to dismiss my lawsuit, right? Unfortunately, the court said, hold your horses, that God is real enough to swear oaths on, but not real enough to be sued. Buts. Okay, so we didn't quite make it through gate 7, but let's move on to the 8th gate just for kicks. The final gate is the service of process, or tell the other person they got served. But unfortunately again, this is where our journey ends. In order to pass the final gate, we would need to serve God his notice of being sued. As it turned out, God could not properly be served because he had no listed address. Okay, but what if someone somehow made it past those last gates and actually made it to court? Well, in 1969, a Californian woman named Betty Penrose did exactly that. She cleared all 8 gates and made it to court. The case was filed, the court date was set, and a table was even reserved for God and his attorney. But on the day of the trial, God didn't show up. So, by default, Penrose won $100,000 in damages awarded against God. But this was a long time ago, and things were much different. So, could I sue God? Nah, not anymore. I can do anything.